The great argument by which men are persuaded to believe that there is at least somewhere or another an infallible guide is that it is incredible that God should leave us without sure guidance when our eternal salvation is at stake. It is thought that if it is once conceded that an infallible guide exists somewhere, the case of Rome will be established by the absence of competition from anyone making a similar claim. Now, we saw that Milner's axiom was altogether extravagant. He demanded that God should miraculously secure men from error of any kind. Surely it cannot be required that we should be given certain knowledge on all possible subjects. All that, with any plausibility, can be demanded is that we should be guarded against error destructive of salvation. But now it is evident that infallible guidance cannot be asserted to be necessary except in cases where explicit knowledge is necessary. If our readiness to believe all that God has revealed without knowing it is enough for our salvation, there is an end to the pretense that it was necessary to the salvation of the world that God should provide means to make men infallibly know the truth. Here is a specimen of what Roman Catholics call an act of faith. O my God, because thou art true and hast revealed it, I believe that thou art one God. I believe that in thy Godhead there are three persons. I believe that thy Son Jesus became man and died for us. I believe that thou wilt reward the good in heaven and punish the wicked in hell. I believe all that the Catholic Church teaches, and in this belief I will live and die. In other words, this act of faith is a profession of explicit belief in the four great truths of faith and of implicit belief in all the teaching of the Church. Now, substitute the word Bible for the word church, and a Protestant is ready to make the same profession. He will declare his belief in the four truths already enumerated and in all that the Bible teaches. If a Roman Catholic may be saved who actually contradicts the teaching of his church, because he did not in intention oppose himself to her, why may not a Protestant be saved in like manner, who is sincerely and earnestly desirous to believe all that God has revealed in the Scripture, and who has learned from the Scripture those four great truths of faith, and many other truths which make wise men unto salvation, even if there be some points on which he has wrongly interpreted the teaching of Scripture? Have we not as good a right in this case as in the other to say that his mistaken belief will not be fatal to one who, notwithstanding his error, is of a humble, teachable disposition, and who does not willfully reject anything that he knows God to have revealed? In fact, if it were even true that a belief in Roman infallibility is necessary to salvation, a Protestant would be safe. For since he believes implicitly everything that God has revealed, if God has revealed Roman infallibility, he believes that too. Thus, the argument for the necessity of an infallible guide has no plausibility, unless, with regard to the absolute necessity to salvation of an explicit belief, we hold a theory far more rigid than even the Church of Rome has ventured to propound. There is, however, something more to be said before we can part with the discussion of Milner's axioms. Good night.